Hello dear students, welcome back. Today in this class we are going to discuss the last part of the chapter number 8, winds, storms and cyclone. In today's class we are going to discuss about thunderstorm, hurricane or cyclone as well as tornado, and what are the precautions that we have to take if such type of natural calamities strike or hit the area. So first, let us discuss about thunderstorm and how it is formed. Thunderstorm is generally formed during the summer season or when the temperature is high. In an area, if there is warm temperature, the air particles and the water vapor present in that area used to get heated up and become light. When they become light, they used to rise upward. When they rise upward, they used to release out the heat energy present in them and becomes condensed. During the condensation process, they used to release out the heat energy. The heat energy so released used to heat up the air particles as well as the water vapor, and it used to rise further upward at a very high speed. During this process, the air particle and the condensed water droplet used to rub against one another and develop a negative charge on them. When they reach the upper layer of the atmosphere, they used to condense and form cloud. The charge so developed when they rub against one another used to get deposited in this cloud. When the charge becomes very heavy or at a very large amount, it is deposited. At that time, the charge is released in the form of lightning. This lightning used to further heat up the air particle at a temperature of 30,000 degrees Celsius. Because of that reason, the air particle expand at a greater speed and it used to produce sound, which we call it as thunder. So this is how a thunderstorm is formed. Now let us see what are the precautions that we have to take when there is a thunderstorm occurring in a particular area. Now let us see some of the precautions that we can take up during a thunderstorm. Some of the points are written on the board. Let us see one by one. First one, do not take shelter under a big tree or in a high-rise building. The thunderstorm are likely to strike on the tall structure, which will be serving as the shortest distance between the cloud and that substance. Because of that reason, we should not take shelter under a big tree. So if you are in an open area where there are lots of trees growing around you, you have to take shelter under the shortest tree. Next point, do not take shelter under an umbrella with a metallic rod. As we know that metals are good conductor of electricity. The lightning actually it is an electric charge. So the metallic rod can conduct the electric charge. Because of that reason, during the thunderstorm, we should not use any kind of umbrella with a metallic handle or metallic rod. Next one, do not sit near a window. So window actually it is an open area for a building or a house. Because of that reason, we should stay away from the window or an open area if possible. Next one, if you are in water, get out as quickly as possible. Water, as we know, also can conduct electricity. Because of that reason, if we are in water, we have to come out of the water as soon as possible, as it can conduct electric charge, which is released by the lightning or during the thunder. Next one, take shelter in a bus or a car. So if you are on the street, then it's better to take shelter inside a bus or a car instead of staying in the open place. One other very important point is that if you are on a ground or in an open area where there is no tall building or where there is no building or trees, then you have to squat, you have to sit on your knee and you have to cover your head with your hand. So in this way, we can protect ourselves from this lightning during the thunderstorm. Now let us see how a hurricane or a cyclone is formed. So hurricane and cyclone, there are the different names that is given to the same type of wind in different countries. So the hurricane or a cyclone is formed when the wind speed is more than 300 km per hour. These are the different names of the same type of wind depending upon different countries. Let us see. Hurricane is the name of this wind which is given in USA or West Indies. It is called typhoon in China Sea. It is called cyclone when it is developed in the Indian Ocean, and it is called willy willies in Australia. So these are the different names of the same type of wind given in different countries. Now let us see how this hurricane or cyclone is developed. The hurricane or cyclone is formed over the sea or the ocean. When a particular area of the ocean is heated up more than the other area, when it receives more amount of sunlight than the other part of the ocean, at that time, the air particle present in this area used to get warm. When they get warm up, at that time, they become light and used to move upward. During this time, this area used to have a low pressure. So the air particle from the other part of this area used to move or rush towards this area. During that time, the air particle used to hit one another as they are coming from opposite direction, and they used to develop an spirally upward movement. When they move upward, they used to release a huge amount of heat energy as it condenses. This heat energy used to further heat up the air particle, and the speed of this spirally moving upward air used to increase. Because of that reason, it used to draw more air from the surrounding, and it used to move upward, forming this hurricane and cyclone. The hurricane and cyclone is a self-sustaining engine structure which used to fill with the warm water vapor present in the surrounding. So when they are moving spirally up, it is not that they are only moving upward, they used to move in horizontal direction also. So when they move in the horizontal direction, they used to cause heavy rainfall in the part in which they are moving. This hurricane and cyclone stops only when it reaches the land surface or it reaches the landmass. So now let us see what are the precautions that should be taken up by us when there is a cyclone hitting in our area, and what are the precautions or what are the preventive measures that are taken by the government. So first, let us see the steps taken by the governments in order to protect the people of that area if a cyclone is going to hit that area. The first point, government has set up weather observation radar. Radar is a device which used to help in detecting the things which are at a very far place. So this weather observation radar that is set up by the government help in detecting the formation of cyclone and the movement of cyclone. Next one, if the cyclone is moving towards the coast, the news is immediately broadcast at least 48 hours before its expected arrival. So if the radar that is set up by the government detects a cyclone formation in the ocean, and if it is moving towards the coast, then the news of this cyclone arriving or moving towards the coast is broadcasted before 48 hours. The broadcast is done through television as well as through radio. Next one, broadcast is on hourly or half-hourly basis. So it is not that once the news is been broadcasted in the television or radio, it will not be broadcasted again. It is not that. The broadcast is done hourly or half-hourly at a regular interval until and unless all the people that are present in that area are moved to the safe place. Last point, the administration helps the people to move to a separate place. The administration also used to help in evacuating the people from that area where the cyclone is going to hit to a place which is safe from the cyclone. So these are some of the steps that are taken up by the government in order to protect the people of that area from the cyclone. Now let us see what are the precautions that we have to take up individually by us. So now let us come to the individual precautions which we have to follow before and during the cyclone. The first one, the warning should not be taken lightly. So once the warning of a cyclone which is approaching towards the coast is being broadcasted in the news. So we have to take that warning very seriously. Second one, make necessary arrangement to shift to a safer place. So we have to make our own arrangement instead of waiting for the government to evacuate us from that area to shift to a safer place for our own protection and safety. Next one, do not venture into the sea if you are a fisherman. As the cyclone originated from the sea, the effect of the cyclone also is seen in the sea also. So if we are a fisherman or if you are a fisherman, you should not venture, you should not go to the sea. Next one, keep the number of emergency services. Emergency services means the medical service, the fire service. We have to keep the number of these services because they are the ones who are going to help us if we are in trouble during such type of natural calamities. Next one, do not drive if the roads are flooded. So if the road is flooded, then we should not drive on the road. It can cause serious accident. So these are some of the precautions that we have to take up during or before the cyclone. So now let us see, as the last topic for today, the precautions that should be taken up after an area is hit by the cyclone. So now let us see some of the precautions that we have to take up after the area is hit by a cyclone. First one, do not drink water which is contaminated by the flood water. So as we learned that cyclone used to cause heavy rainfall. So when there is heavy rainfall, there used to be flood also. So we should not drink water which is contaminated by the flood water, because if the drinking water is contaminated by the flood water, then there is a huge chance for the spreading of communicable diseases. So we should not drink such type of water which is contaminated by the flood water. Next one, do not touch electric pole, fallen electric wire or wet switches, because such type of things may carry electric current. So if we touch it, we may get electric shock. Next one, cooperate with your fellow neighbors and friends. So as the calamity hit that area, each and everyone are suffering. So if we help one another, then it will be better for our safety. Next one, do not make unjustified demands. So we should not make unjustified demands to the administration or to the government. Last one, do not put pressure on the rescue worker. The rescue worker, they are the one who used to rescue us if we are stuck in some problems. They know their works. So they are doing their work. We should not put pressure on them. They will do their work better and they know their job. So because of this reason, we should not put any kind of pressure on those rescue worker or rescue team. Up to this, we discuss in today's class. We will come across with another chapter in the next class. Thank you.